Welcome back. You're with the playlist. Next up, part 2 of our look at the Middle Eastern metal scene, the hardcore soundtrack of Muslim youth. We're taking you to Dubai, host of the region's only metal festival, one of the few places where metalheads can meet and make their music in public. Censorship drives against metal in places like Jordan, Lebanon, and Egypt have forced local bands underground with no outlet for their sound. And with metal, turning the volume down is not a viable option. But in spite of the strict controls and some interesting interpretations of the Quran that have been used against the music, bands like Iran's TarantisT have found followings across the Middle East, even beyond. Next up on the playlist, freedom of expression versus conservative forces and the challenge of making metal in today's Middle East.
The catharsis that intense religious experience gives and intense musical experience gives is very much the same thing. And so that's why they go together, but that's also why music is such a threat to certain religious forces, because as many artists have said to me, we're their competitors, especially for young kids.
It's impressive, given the subject matter of a lot of the bands that are playing, lyrically, politically, and so on. If they're able to take the stage down there and express themselves in a free way, then I think that really calls for some kind of reassessment on the part of the West in terms of just how progressively people are thinking down there.
Metalheads have it really rough in Iran, where censorship can be strict and bands and their fans have been forced underground.
So if there's one band in this festival that deserves to be here tonight, it's TarantisT.
Iranian metalers TarantisT fled to the U.S. so they could play their music their way.
We left our everything. We left our country, we left our parents, we left our friends, we left the boys and girls, even the streets and everything for just music. So it may be something important in our life. Kill your brothers, as you can. Destroy their homes, the more you win. Live them, march your time.
But they're playing people's basements, people's pools, people's back gardens, and so on, because death metal is a very underground kind of music and very DIY, and it lends itself towards those underground sorts of shows.
Heavy metal and Islam. That item's up on our website as well. Coming up next week on the playlist, and for the rest of this series, more diverse and dynamic fusion music. Our crews are out there recording music right now, talking to the people behind it. That's just some of what's still to come on this series, but as always, the playlist would like to hear from you. Let us know which musical fusions you think we should know about.